Hello everyone, Steven here with Cardboard Coalition, and today I figured I'd bring you guys a how to play, no I haven't done them in a while, but a how to play of River Valley Glassworks. It's for 1 to 5 players, it's for ages 8 plus, and it takes 25 minutes to play, roughly. So if you guys want to catch me in the top view, we'll go ahead and go over setup and how to play. Alright, so in River Valley Glassworks, you are a forest creature trying to get that pretty glass out of the river to sell to other forest creatures. You want to have the snazziest, fanciest glassworks you can get. So before we get into how we do that, let's go ahead and get into the setup. First thing you do is you fill your bag full of glass. You take all the glass. Now this is the deluxe version. I think it's just acrylic in the regular, but this is the deluxe. You have actual glass pieces turned into glass. You go ahead and put them in the bag. If you're not playing 5 players, because we're set up for 4, you do not put in the black pieces of glass, so you leave those out. So you go ahead and put them all in the bag, and you can set that bag off to the side for everyone to be able to reach. All right, next thing you do is you go ahead and put out the river. All right, and once again, remember this is the deluxe, so you put out the river and the tiles. So you have all the tiles that are right here. Once you have that, the river and the tiles you put out randomly. There's a reason why. I just kind of shuffle them up, set them out. Then you go ahead and look down. Let's see if I can grab you guys one really quick. And there's little rocks on each one that show you how many pieces of glass they originally start with. So this is just for the beginning. So it tells you how many pieces of glass. You go ahead and put all those pieces of glass down. You get all those pieces of glass down, you fill up the lake. The lake is not considered one of the tiles, and remember this for later on in the game. So you go ahead and fill up the lake with 5 pieces of glass randomly from the bag. Once that's done, it's time to set up your players, and you'll read in the book it tells you to give each player their player board, but in all actuality, these player boards are 2 pieces so they can fit in the box. It took me a second to try to figure out, wait, what's this piece? This is all the player board, right? But it's a 2-piece thing, so it fits in the box. So you give each person their player board. Remember deluxe again, but you give them their little worker marker. I don't remember exactly what is deluxe, to be honest, or not, but you give them the worker marker and you set them out in the 0 spot on the track. This is going to track how many pieces of glass you get out of the river. You also make sure each person has their little pan so they can panhandle glass out. And then once that's all ready, each player randomly gets 3 pieces of glass and puts it in their pan like that, so they have their starting hand. Now to find the first player, you just go ahead and see who's seen the last person to see a river, or is it a lake? River. It's a river because there's a lake here. I don't know. Last person to see a river gets to go first. All right. Now we know how we go about getting the board together. It's time to start playing and figuring out how to become the best glass collector in the world, Glassworks in the forest, I guess. All right, so this is what you do. You have your first player and you go clockwise around. So we're going to go ahead and say Mr. Otter over here is our first player, and then you'd go clockwise around taking turns. Now on your turn, there are 2 things you can do. You can place, gather. In the book it says place, gather. I like to call it place, gather, place. So just think place, gather, place. It's one of your options. What that means, in this stage, when you're place, gather, place, when you're placing and gathering, so placing on the lake and gathering, all that matters is the shape of the piece of glass. Color does not matter. Now what you do is you go ahead and you take your piece of glass and you set it on a tile. Here, we'll grab one of these even though it doesn't match. You set it on a tile that matches right here. So I don't have that shape. Who has that shape? Does anyone have that shape out here? No one's speaking up. So you go ahead and you place based on that shape. So remember, right now, only shape matters, color does not. So in this case, we grab the circular one, the circle. And so we find the one that has the circle in the 4 corners, and we set our piece of glass down there. Now that allows us to choose one of these 2 options, one of the adjacent ones. So we can pick either of these. We go ahead and pick them up and we set them in our pan. We take this tile, it goes to the end, you push them all forward, the river moves forward, and you look at whatever tile's next to it and you place that number on this tile. So we have a 1. We go ahead and put the 1 right there. So we're ready to go. Once we've gathered, our turn's not over yet. We take the glass that we gathered. You probably shouldn't put it in your pan because it'll confuse you. And then you go ahead and place it. Nope, we got to get our right players. I'm moving the wrong people around. All right, so I guess Mr. Crocodile is our first player. Whoopsie. All right, so you go ahead and you take your glass and you place it. So these are 2 different colors. You have yellow and orange, if you guys can see there. When you're placing colors, you go from left to right or up the columns. So you place in whatever order you want. This will tell you the rarity track right here. So you know, this is also helpful because it'll tell you what you do. Place and gather, gives you draw, gives you scoring, gives you everything you need to know right here. So anyways, you place your glass in any order you want, right? But it has to be left to right. Now, if you have some of the same colors, let's say we have, well, let's see if we can grab a couple and get the same color. Let's say in one of our pools, whoa, look, there's what I was looking for before. We get, you know, an orange. If it's the color you've already placed, you start placing it up this way. You start making the column. So you place different colors in a row and the same colors in a column up. All right, so you place. The other thing that you can do, let's see if we can, well, we can't back all this up, so we're just gonna go like this. We'll get rid of this. The other thing that you could do is you can pull from the lake. So if you decide to pull from the lake, oh, rewind, I forgot one thing. So once you place, I threw everything everywhere. I don't know where anything's at. Let's place our 2. Once you place, I think I found them. Your glass. I forget to do this all the time when I play anyways. But once you place your glass, you take your little person and you move them 2 spots. And this is actually quite important for in-game. So you would go ahead and move them 2 spots forward and set them there. We have 2 pieces of glass that we just laid down. We move our little guy 2 spots forward. Now, the other thing that I'll mention is if you ever have more than 5 in here, your extra pieces go over here. That'll make sense here in a second. Now, let's say you don't do that. Let's say that, oh, we'll just use you as our guinea goat. Yes, our guinea goat is what I said. The other thing that you can do, whoops, if you don't have a shape that you can match anything up, or you don't want to, you can take 2 shapes, 2 of any shape, and you can place them on a tile, and it's the exact same thing. You would take one of the adjacent tiles, you would pick it, take the glass, reset it and everything. So either you set 1 piece that matches, or 2 pieces that don't match, and then pick an adjacent tile. All right, now, the other thing that you can do, let's say, I mean, you can do this at any point. The other option that you have to do is draw. So let's say Mr. Crocodile here doesn't have any glass to set down into the river so he can pull some glass. What he could do is he could pull from the lake. Now you take 4. You could take any 4 that you want, right? You can say, okay, I want those 4. And you go ahead and place them over here. All right, once you place them in here, your turn's done, next person goes, and you go round and round until someone hits 17 or more. They might place more than 17. They might pass 17, but once they at least get to 17, that starts the end game. Once you get the end game, then what you do, let's say this is the first player, let's say second player gets the end game, you finish that round, right? And then you do, well, first you finish the round. I almost screwed something up. First you finish the round. If any players have less than 3 pieces of glass in their pan, so someone hits 17, right? And everyone finishes that round. Anyone has less than 3 pieces of glass in their pan gets to go ahead and draw 2 pieces of glass for that final phase, that final round to go through. Once that's done, then you can go through your final round, right? And your final round, you play the same way, everyone goes. Once that final round's done, it is scoring time. All right, so for scoring, we're gonna go ahead and look at old Crocodile over here. Rosie Grit and Glass. So we're gonna go ahead and look at Rosie's Grit and Glass over here. So Magic Video is going to zoom here. All right. So this is how scoring goes. Oh, let's go ahead and give Rosie one of these for our example. All right. So any pieces that you had more than you can fit in a column, or more than you can fit in a row or in your pan over here, all those go into this excess slot. You add them all, you put them all here. So we're going to say old Rosie has one. So for the end game, this is how it works. So first thing you score is you score complete rows. So along the bottom you have numbers. It's whatever the highest number you get. So down here Rosie has 22. The next row she's missing some. It has to be complete rows. So she'd only get 22 points there. Once you get the rows, then you go ahead and look at your two largest columns, your two highest columns, right? So she has 3. Now she has 3 highest columns. You would take the leftmost 2, right? And so once you do that, you go ahead and see what points you got, and you have the points there, and the numbers vary depending. So what do we have here? We have 15 and we have 18. I need my glasses on, especially in this lighting. So you rows, complete rows, then you do columns. Once you have that, then you go ahead and you minus any points you have here. So it's plus this number, plus the 2 here, minus how many you have here, -3 for each piece. So in this case, let's see if I can do quick math. Rosie gets 22 plus 18. That gives us an easy 40. Then we get 55 minus 3. She would score 52 points at the end of the game. Once everyone has their points, whoever has the highest points is the winner of the game. Now, if there's any ties, everyone gets to share the victory because this is made to be a fun game. All right, everyone. So that's how you play River Valley Glassworks from Allplay Games, right? So this is for ages 8 and up. This is for 1 to 5 players, and it takes 25 minutes or so to get through. I hope you guys like that how to play. I'm sure if I missed anything, you will let me know in the comments. I'm sure you will. And I appreciate it. It helps everyone else out. I'm Steven with Cardboard Coalition. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye. All right. 3, 2, 1.